It's a hop and a giveaway.
Hi everyone, my name is Brennan and welcome to
Brennan's Crafty Corner. Hey everyone, my name is Brennan and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am so excited to be celebrating my Earthly Marvels collection with this YouTube hop, as well as a blog hop and Instagram hop that are also going on right now. After you watch my video, make sure you go throughout all the other amazing creators and see their amazing videos and amazing projects that they make. Be sure to like them and comment them because there is a chance to win my entire Earthly Marvels collection. One entire collection will be given away on the blog, one will be given away on Instagram, and one will obviously be given away here on YouTube. So there are 3 chances to win across the 3 different hops. So make sure you hop along on all the hops to get as many chances as possible. All the info will be in the description box below if you just want to read all the official stuff. So without further ado, let's get into this video so you can see me make another card with this amazing collection.
So for the card we're going to be making today, I'm only going to be using one of my powders, and that's going to be Aurora Borealis. If you haven't seen Aurora Borealis, when you look at it straight on, it looks pretty much black. You can tell maybe there's some color, but then when you tilt it into the light, you can see those blues and greens really shine through, and it looks absolutely awesome. I love this color. It's so much fun with that shifting property. In case you haven't seen my release yet, I'm just going to go quickly through all the other colors. We have Frosted Glacier, which is this bluish green that looks like that's inspired by a glacier. We have Dried Lavender, which this swatch is slightly darker than what it normally is on camera for whatever reason, but it's typically a little bit lighter as you can see in the jar. But it's this nice purple that has some silver flecks in there, and it's really cool. Mare, which is the Latin word for sea or ocean, and this is a seafoam green, which has white specks in there that are sort of to imitate seafoam. And then lastly, we have our duo, which is the Pinktastic duo, and it has Pink Sapphire and Sakura Bloom. Pink Sapphire is a lighter and softer pink, which is really, really pretty. And then Pink Sapphire is a darker, more bold and vibrant pink. So I have this Cheerful Flowers die set from Christina Warner and Concord and Ninth. And in it, there's basically this main floral, which would be the dark green area, and then a backing piece. It will also cut out inlay pieces, but we won't be using these today. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out a couple of these flowers in Aurora Borealis, and then maybe I'll use vellum to back them, and it will look really cool. If you're looking to conserve your powder, I would suggest maybe die cutting out 3 of the florals, which I think is the amount we're going to use, and then coat them in the embossing powder and melt it. However, that's slightly tedious for me, at least, so what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to make a whole panel of Aurora Borealis, and I know I can cut out 2, and I will be wasting powder, I will admit that, but it will save my sanity, and I'm choosing to do that instead. Okay, so I have a piece of black cardstock here that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, I believe. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it up and then just put Aurora Borealis on it. And then I know I can get about 2 of the flowers out of this one sheet if I do it like this and then like that. The reason I'm using black cardstock is because I know I'm going to put it on a black panel. So if I miss any areas with Aurora Borealis, it won't stand out as much as if I missed any areas with white cardstock. So I'm going to go in here and just ink up this whole panel. Now, this is probably my 1000th time saying this on my channel, but I would suggest using a brayer for this, as Marian Emberson suggests. However, y'all don't want to see my brayer. It's bad. So Marian, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I know I need a new brayer. She tells me that every time. She's like, just get a new brayer. And I'm like, I know. And then I don't do it. Because why? I don't listen. Yeah, it's bad. Anyways, okay. So this panel is pretty much all coated. So now what I can do is, once I pick it up, is I can just pour some Aurora Borealis over this. So I have my coffee filter ready. And now I'm going to go crazy on the powder. I'm gonna go crazy, crazy on you. Oh, okay, I'm gonna stop now because I don't think you want to hear that. Also, if you see any white specks like that in your powder, it's nothing to worry about. It's supposed to be there. It's something that WoW puts in, and I genuinely don't know what it is or what it does, but it burns off when you heat it up, so it's fine. And now I'm just gonna flip this so I can better get this area, like not get my hands covered in powder when trying to flip it. And now just tap any excess off, and there we go. So we have a panel that's ready to be heated up, so I'm going to do so. But I'm just going to put that off to the side for about 2 seconds while I carefully fold this coffee filter. And oh, it's scary. Oh, it's scary. Okay, we got this, people. We got this. It's satisfying when it goes right. So now we're going to heat this up. When doing a full panel, I always would suggest heating from the bottom. That way you're not blowing any powder off by mistake. And now just for a tiny little hint at that heat embossing process, it looks so cool when this powder starts to melt. Just look at it, it's marvelous, I love it. So this is all heated up, and when you first look at it, like I said, it doesn't look super cool, it just kind of looks black. But then when you hit that light, you see that beautiful blue and green shine, and it really does look like it could be a nice galaxy or like the northern lights as it's supposed to be. This just looks so cool. This could also be amazing for like peacocks or something if you're doing something similar to that. It looks great. Okay, so I've die cut out my 3 flowers and my 3 vellum pieces. For the vellum, I used some pearlescent vellum from Lawn Fawn because I thought it would give it a fun look. And now look at how great this flower looks. Right now it looks mostly black, and then bam, bam, bam. I just love this so much. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna painstakingly add glue to this little die cut. This is another crafting activity that I don't like because I feel like I always miss it and then I get some on the front and then it's not perfect, but it'll be fine. Since we're using vellum, I don't want to add too much though, because if I add too much, it could cause like the vellum to wrinkle. And I'm also going to have to use more glue when I glue it onto the actual card. And I really don't want that vellum to wrinkle, so I'm trying not to use too much glue. Okay, now this part is also not that fun, but we're going to try to line this up as best as possible. Oh, okay. Okay, got the leaves, those top leaves done. Now we'll do the bottom leaves. Okay. Okay, that wasn't horrible. So now we have one of our flowers done, and then I'll do the other 2 off camera because I don't want to make you have to watch that. Okay, so I've made a few changes to the card that I'm going to be making here. So instead of using 3 florals, I decided I think we only need 2. And also, instead of putting these florals on some black cardstock, I thought that some rainforest cardstock from Concord and Ninth would look amazing. Okay, so I cut a panel of this cardstock down to 3.75 inches by 5 inches. So this will be slightly smaller than a standard A2 size card front, but that's what I was going for. So the reason I decided to only use 2 florals is because that way we could have 3 items, which is amazing for the eye, and then the third item will be our sentiment, which we'll plop right down here. However, I don't want to just leave this background blank, so we're going to do some tone-on-tone stenciling. So I have my stamp wheel here, and we're going to place that card panel in. And now I have the bubbly stencil from Simon Hurley, and I thought this would just give like a really nice and subtle look. Obviously, it's just a small geometric pattern. It's nothing too crazy, and it will look fairly nice because quite a lot of the cardstock will be the darker color, but then plenty of it will still be the lighter regular rainforest color. Then for ink, I'm going to go in with Deck the Halls from Catherine Pooler, as I think it will be dark enough to darken it up, but still give a tone-on-tone look. So I'm just going to go in with this Nouveau blending brush here, and I'm going to get it all inked up. Now I'm going to get to blending. We're not going to do anything crazy here. We're just trying to get an even coat on, so we're not doing any shading or really anything. So nothing too hard. Just putting ink through a stencil. Literally all we're doing. Okay, and I think we're done. It only took a couple seconds. So we can peel this back. And yeah, that's exactly what I was going for. Perfect. The only thing I'm going to do to add just a tiny bit more interest is just go around the edges and darken them up slightly. I have residual ink on here, and I think that will probably be enough, but if not, I will just gently dab my ink blending tool into the ink pad. But yeah, from what I can see, it's going to be enough. And there we go. So you can still see that pattern all over, but it's slightly darker on the outside, which leads our eye to the middle and just adds a little bit more depth to the background, which I'm liking. Okay, so now it's time to focus on the placement of our flowers. I'm thinking we're going to have one up here in the top like this. I think that's actually like perfect. So this is probably about how I'm going to do it. And then I'll have the other one coming in over here. And then we'll put our sentiment down here, I think. I think that's how I'm going to lay it out. So I'm going to start gluing these down. So like before, I'm just going to go along the edge where that cardstock is, just so we don't accidentally get any glue that you can see through the vellum. If we do, it won't be the biggest deal because we're doing small little dabs, so it will be hard to see, but still trying to be careful. Okay, so we have our first flower done, so I am going to place that right about, we'll do it like that. Okay, now we're just going to press this down. Now it's time to work on our second flower. So once again, we're just going to add glue to the back of it. Now we're going to come on the bottom right-hand side and not the top left. So the opposite. And we're going to glue that down. And I'm loving it. I'm loving this layout so far. So now I'm just going to try to pull this up. And I'm going to wait for this side to be stuck down a little bit more. But once they are definitely stuck, I'm going to go around the edges and chop off any excess so it's not hanging off. Okay, I think everything's dried enough, but I am going to start with this side first. Like I said, what we're going to do is just go along the edge of our green cardstock and chop off any overhang. And there we go. Any excess overhang is chopped off, and now we're just down to the size of that card front. So for my sentiment, I decided to take this Anchor of Hope stamp set from Honeybee, and I'm using the Thinking of You stamp. I've already stamped this in black on the Rainforest cardstock and die cut it out using one of the coordinating dies, and I decided to cut it out 3 times because the black isn't super dark on the cardstock, so I feel like it could kind of get missed, possibly. So if we add a little bit of height to the sentiment and give it a little bit more prominence on the card, it will be harder to miss. And there we go. So we have all of our 3 layers glued together. So now we can just see how it will look on the card. And I think that looks great. And I'm much happier now that it's popped up than it just being flat. So we can glue this down. And there we go. So I wanted to put foam tape on the back of this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have any. But then I remembered my grandma's friend Lois gave me a bunch of foam tape. So Lois, if you're watching this, thank you for the foam tape, and thank you for everything else you've given me. You're so kind. So I'm not actually going to be out of foam tape for quite a while, because she did give me a lot. Okay, so we have all that release paper taken off, so now it's time to add it to a card base. Everyone hold their breath. Hold the breath. Okay, here goes nothing. Let me make sure that's actually right. Yeah, okay. I was like, is that laid out right? Okay, I think we did a really good job on that one. Yeah, I think that's like basically perfect. But there we go. There is our finished card, and just I think that Aurora Borealis powder looks so amazing. Just look at that shine. And I think the pearlescent vellum was a great touch too. But now we have a really nice Thinking of You card.
Isn't Aurora Borealis just so amazing? I really love this powder. I feel like it's starting to grow on me more and more as I use it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and now it's time for you to head to that description box below so you can keep on hopping just like a little frog, ribbit, ribbit, hop, hop, onto all the other amazing videos. You don't want to miss out on this hop, nor the giveaway that goes along with it, because like I said, you could win this entire collection. And make sure to check out the Instagram hop as well as the blog hop. I'm not in the blog hop, but it's still amazing to check out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye everyone, and happy crafting!